Hello, everyone. I am just trying to test out my mic. Hey, Duchess, can you hear me? Give me just a second. Okay. Just a second. Okay, can you all hear me? Put a one in chat if you can hear me. This is a true test. I have no clue if I've got this mic hooked up right or not. So if you can hear me, let me know. Okay, how does the sound? How does it sound? Is it different? Okay, is that better or worse? It's crisp. Is that good or bad? Like I said, this is totally, it sounds good to you. How has y'all's Christmas Eve been? I'm going to hook something else up and tell me if you hear anything. It may miss that completely. I can't never hear it, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not, but just a second. Hello, Heidi. If you all hear this, let me know. Can you hear that? Let me know if you can hear that. Whoa. Oops. Okay. Did y'all hear anything just then other than me dropping about everything on my desk? Okay, so I still got to figure that out. But as long as you all can hear me, my hubby got me a mic for Christmas and a necklace. And let me see. Oh, now you hear my teens in the background. Babies are asleep. The teens are in the living room acting like a bunch of nuts. Just plopping you. Okay. Hubby got me a audio stream sound mixer, and I don't know how to use it. I'm gonna have to really figure this one out. It don't make sense. But I will. I will. I'll figure it out, and then I'll do one thing at a time. As long as my mic's working, I'm doing good. So, did you all do anything special today? You all, I have to say, I've had the best Christmas Eve that I've had since my parents passed away. And if my volume is too loud, please let me know. I'm used to flying by the seat of my britches and just using the mic that's built into my laptop. So I could be deafening you all. I don't even know. I have no clue. But this morning I got up. I cooked a huge breakfast. My mom used to do that. She would always fix gravy and biscuits and ham and tenderloin and cut up tomatoes and fried potatoes and sausage and bologna and chocolate gravy. And this morning I did that. Got up early and fixed a big breakfast. And my lovely family was here. I got to see my grandbabies. All my kids was under one roof, which is something that when you get older, you figure out that is a task in itself. You know, when I was growing up, it just seemed natural that we were all under one roof. But now that I've got kids of my own, it's a little bit different. It seems like it's a real task to get all your kids and your grandkids all under one roof. Oh, Flies, it was. It was such a blessing. I really, really, really enjoyed my Christmas Eve. And I mean, I couldn't ask for more. I really couldn't. And then, uh, as far as gifts go this year, I mean, it's like my husband really paid attention. Um, and I always appreciate that, which I would have, don't get me wrong, I would like anything that he got me. He could make me a paper airplane and I'd be pleased to death with it. But this year he got me a mic. He got me a mixer that I don't know how to use. And he got me a necklace. And I just, it says he's paying attention, y'all. Does that make sense? And it meant a lot to me. And his wedding band got destroyed some time back. So that's what I got him. And a new shirt. Yes, Flies. He spoiled me this year. He did. I have to say though, Flies, my necklace that you got me that says, with God all things are possible. It's right up there on my favorites. Yes, Heidi, he does. He does. That's one thing I never have to do. I never have to wonder if he loves me or not. He shows it in actions, and now yous might hear a small child in the background because little Miss Cave, the Queen Cave. Well, sometimes we call her Special K because she's so special to us. She's sounds like she's turning on. But my grandbaby came over and we'll call her PK. But she came over and she opened her presents and she loved them, but she was opening everybody else's presents too for them. And it was just a blessing and a half. Had such a good time. But I am very, very happy with my new mic. That's tickled me to death. It's pretty, y'all. You want to see it? It's a pretty mic. I swear I only got that set because of that necklace. Let's see. I swear I only got that set because of that necklace. I just saw it and you came to mind. I had no clue you wanted one with that quote. Yes, and I have wanted one for quite some time. If it says anything at Easter, I had my cousin look into ordering them because she has a boutique, and she had got one that had that same quote on it. And I told her, I said, I call her Miss. I said, Miss, I want a necklace like that. And she said, well, I can order them and I'll order you one. Well, every time I'd ask about the necklace, she said, well, I tried to order it, but every time I do, it says it's on back order. Well, I guess now I know why. It's because God wanted my good friend Flies to get it for me. Yes, Heidi, it was meant to be. You know, I've been thinking today a lot. Um, and after I had eat, I went outside on the porch to smoke, and as my husband would say, in my quiet time. And I got to thinking, it seems like on YouTube we have saw so many different mixes of emotions this year. And just a second. And I got to thinking about how blessed I am. There's some people that aren't able to be with their family. Um, some people's family members have passed away in 2023 and didn't make it to Christmas. Some have struggled to get their kids stuff for Christmas. Maybe they didn't know where Christmas presents was even going to come from this year. And, it's not about the presents, but that is real easy to say until you have children that's expecting stuff. Um, and I sat there and I just had to thank God because that wasn't our situation this year. I'm not going to lie, I know what it's like to struggle, you all. I know what it's like to take a whole loan out for Christmas. But God has blessed me tremendously. Um, Not just financially, but emotionally. Um, a couple years back, it just seemed like all I could do when it came to the holidays was think about everything that I had lost. And you talk about getting in a funk. You can really get in a funk. And this year, I've had my grandbabies, my kids, and they're my kids. I don't even want to separate it, but so that you know who I'm speaking about. I have my biological kids and my foster kids. And I have got to say, I hate the word foster, by the way. I don't even like to say that word. But you all, he has filled my home with so much joy this year. Um, I can't begin to explain how much joy these babies has brought into my house. Fly says, no, I miss my sister, even though I have 4 more. Me and her always cooked all day on Christmas Eve. My first without her, but I feel her. I know what that's like. I really do. It's heartbreaking. Um, just a second. I may be able to show you all something. I'll make no promises because I don't even know if I've still got it on here. But if I do, I'll show it to you. See. Well, bear with me just a second. Okay, give me just a second. Let me get my cord. I'll show y'all. Sometimes it helps to put a face with a name. Okay. Let's see. Give me just a minute. Trying to get yourself figured out. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. Let me see. Alrighty. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. Bear with me. You all know I ain't organized for nothing. Okay. Now, what is it doing? I hate when things don't cooperate or go the way I want them to. It really makes me angry. Duchess, how is Petra doing? Okay, this is just being silly. It's just being silly. I can't get it to work. It's not doing well. We took her to see Christmas lights tonight, and she got weak. She's feeling rough. I wanted to cry. Bless her little heart. Hey, Lolly. I'm sure he is, Duchess. I'm still praying, honey. Okay, Duchess. Can you tell a difference in my sound? Is it too loud? Is it not loud enough? Am I picking the people from up in the living room? Okay. Is that better or worse? Help me out. Y'all, I love my mic. I don't know how it sounds, but it sure is pretty. Nobody's saying testing in progress. Yeah. Oh. Oh, is it? I thought you was talking about my title to my live, Duchess. I'm sorry. It picks up everything. I hear the folks in the background. Just a second. I'm sure you heard that too. Is that better? Is that better? Sounds good to me. I'd rather have to turn down volume on a video than strain to hear it. So, am I screaming? It's got a little thing here on the side. Okay, let's do this. How's this? Are you able to hear me and not so much hear my wild family in the living room? No background. Oh, thank you. Okay, that's better. It could be because they've quietened down too. So, what was something that you all did today to kind of celebrate Christmas Eve? Or do you celebrate Christmas Eve? I tell you one thing this is the only year that we haven't done it. Normally on Christmas Eve, the kids would get to open a comfort item. 9 times out of 10, this is pajamas. Um, they would get a book. We would have hot chocolate and um, cookies and brownies and make candy that day. This year I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I wanted to keep that tradition that I had always had. Elvis, you scared me to death. Whew. Sorry, y'all. I looked over and my little Elvis bobblehead was just like nose to nose with me. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I looked over and he was just nose to nose. And with the look that he's making, I have to say, it was rough. Speaking of rough, y'all, I'm looking rough. We'll turn that camera off because, oh, girl, it's a mess today. Oh, but look, ain't it pretty? It's so pretty. Okay, I get excited over the least thing, y'all. Honey, I love me some Elvis. Absolutely love Elvis. Well, I've got 8 people in here. Uh, hello Heidi, hello Flies, hello Allie. Who have I missed? Dudgy, Allie, Heidi, Dudgy, Flies. And I guess I got some lurkers. And hello to you too. Hey, Allie, honey, I love you. I'm glad we got our little community. I really am. Where I can go on live and mess around with my mic and see without being made fun of. Yep. Oh, you take care of that baby, Duchess. Yeah, Merry Christmas for everybody that's watching in the bushes. And I would like everybody to remember Petra. Remember her when you pray. Duchess having a real hard time right now. Remember her. Pray the Lord gives her strength and comfort. And let's pray for a Christmas miracle. You know, I love our community too, Heidi says. You all, these last couple months, I have had my ups and I've had my downs. Um, I guess you could say a roller coaster of emotions. And I would like to say it's surprising, but it's not. Um, the holidays are hard. And I can remember when it was a countdown starting in August, starting at my birthday. I was counting down to Christmas, and now it can becomes more of a dread. But seems like always when it gets to like Christmas Eve and then Christmas, I say, why was I stressing so hard? Well, at one point it used to be because I didn't know how I was going to do anything. But most of my emotions this year has been over missing over missing my loved ones that I don't have here no more. Um, Sometimes we're expected to be strong, and sometimes that ain't fair. I'm going to tell you, it's okay to not be okay during the holidays. That may sound odd, but it is. It's okay to not be okay. You are not alone. There's plenty of us out there too that are missing people. And one thing with this community is we have a place that we can talk about it. Can you remember what it was like just to hold those feelings inside? Just me. I was the only one walking around with a mask on, smiling when I wanted to cry. You see, that's one thing about me is all my life, if I could take on somebody else's problems, if I could take on their worry, I would. But to sit down and really tell anybody about my worries was foreign to me. Yes, Lolly, you will be. And while you're not okay, know that you have friends here that you can talk to. You got my number. You can call me anytime, honey. Hey, one love. Well, I sure do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up and chat for a second. There's no set topic here tonight because, to be honest with you, I was testing my new mic. Hopefully, it will help my stream. Um, how about this, you all? How about I'm a photographer. I have used Photoshop for years. Um, and had never really sat down to use Premiere Pro to make videos with until today. And guess what I figured out? I figured out I'm going at the video pad because that is made for people with a lot of time on their hands, and I don't have that. I'm a rare bird, you all. I'll tell you, I'll sit here and edit a picture of somebody, a portrait, um, a sports photo. I'll edit for an hour on the same picture. But do you know what dread goes through me when it comes to making a simple thumbnail on Canva? I'm not about it. I don't know if it's where I edit all the time anyway, and I think, nah, I'm just not going to do it. You know, I'm going to start right here preparing for my New Year's resolutions. I am going to put more effort toward making thumbnails and making better videos. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Dutchie. Borrowed Angel. You all, I love you all. Know that it isn't about what we're going to be eating tomorrow. It's not about the presents. It's not about Santa Claus. But tomorrow, we celebrate a birthday. It was the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. He was born in a manger and became the King. How great is that? I just elbowed that mic. Did that make a big loud sound? I'm going to have to get used to it. Yes, it was the most precious gift of all. I love you all. I really do. It makes me so, so happy that I have you on. Because if I'm frustrated, I know I can talk to you. And if I'm having a day where I just need to focus on the Lord, you all understand my absence. And if I'm needing a little piano therapy, you all show up to listen. And if I'm covering a case, I know I got your support. And I really, really thank God for you all. I really do. Um, you've been a real blessing in my life. Lolly, how have you been, honey? I was worried about you. And I'll be honest with you all, when I see us going through things, it burdens me too. I have to really, to be honest with you, I pray for you all. I've been praying for Petra every day, every day. Lolly, I've been praying for her. Those happy memories, Lolly. That's what you hang on to, honey. Lolly, you want to come up? You want to come up? I try to cheer you up. I might tell you what had happened was I think that's why me and Dutch gets along so well. If she sees a friend hurting, she hurts too, and I'm like that also. Still, your lives are a blessing to us. I work a lot. I work a lot and have to catch the replays. They bless me so much. Oh, thank you, Heidi. Thank you so much. Hey, Duke. I'm praying for you and Dutchie and Petra. Know that you enter in my prayers. There's the Lolly.
Hello.
Hello, beautiful.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Hanging in there. It's just a sad time.
I completely understand, honey. And like I said earlier, it is okay to not be okay.
Yes, it is. I finally learned that. And when I learned that, I think that's kind of when I got my sanity back, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I don't know how it went with you, but I think with me, um, I heard so many people say, you've got to be strong. You've got to be strong for this one. You've got to be strong for that one. And I've heard that my whole life. That
Yeah.
a lot of times, no, you don't have to be strong. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times that means, or the way I was raised, my interpretation of being strong was I can't let them see me cry. I can't break down. They can't think I'm weak.
Yeah. I was
And
the same way.
that is so not healthy because for a long time, I know with my grief, um, I held it in, and
Oh, yeah.
it was a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
When I was able to talk about it, it helped me more than anything.
It definitely does. And everybody wouldn't talk about Austin. They wouldn't mention his name. Nothing in the stories that were told had anything to do with him because they didn't want to make me sad, but I wanted to hear them. I
Yeah,
wanted him to still be part of us, but they were trying not to make me sad. And I was trying to be happy for them. And once we finally got all that worked out, it helped a lot because I was trying to be that strong person when I was around, and it was like I was two different people.
yeah,
And
I totally understand that.
yeah, and now if we talk about him or whatever and I tear up, they don't get all, nervous or anything. My kids try to protect me, but he was part of us. He's still part of us. And I don't want him to be forgotten. It's important for me.
Exactly, and I felt the same way. Um, Even though it took me a while to even be able to put pictures back on the wall,
Right.
um, because mind you, when I lost the boys, we lost our home too. So
Right. Oh, yeah.
what was familiar was gone. Um, but thanks to MySpace, some pictures was saved and stuff.
Sorry.
So, oh, you're fine. So I got them printed off, and then there was some family members that had some made and put in frames, beautiful frames. And I got two 16 by 20 pictures made of each one of them for the
Yeah.
funeral. And so I had these two large pictures that I couldn't even bring to put on the wall. And please understand, people, it wasn't because um, I wanted to forget about them. It was every
Mhm.
time I saw those pictures, they reminded me of what I didn't have anymore.
Yeah.
And it was too painful. So it took like 5 years for me to put pictures on the wall. But I can remember like going to my in laws or um, to moms, and they had put pictures where they wouldn't right where I would see them. Well, they were taking note from me, and I didn't realize it.
Right.
She can't put them on her wall; it'd be too painful for us to have them up on ours. But because nobody was talking about it, I was looking at it like they're erasing them.
Yes.
They've
Yeah.
taken pictures down. So I mean, it's
It's a
hard.
hard
It,
to
it
get everybody thinking on the right page, and they want to do the right thing, and it's hard. It's just all hard.
Okay, let me tell you something, Molly. I remember coming back from my in laws one time, and Peyton, he couldn't talk too good. Speech therapist said he probably could, he just don't have to because his brother Ethan talked for him. Well, Ethan would take like every song he heard on the radio and combined in one, and that's a family trait because my dad would do the same thing, and my brother till this day cannot sing a song without mixing another song into it. But the whole way back, he was a singing, "Go rest high on that mountain, on that four wheeler down in the valley." I mean, he was just mixing singing songs to the top of his lungs. And then Peyton, who did not talk very much at all, just looks up over at him and he goes, "Shut up, E." But he listened to him from Tennessee to Almost Home, which is about an hour and 20-minute drive. And
That's funny.
it was just, I can think of that to this day and just
Yeah,
bust. Sometimes I'll be cleaning in the house and I just bust out laughing because I think of that. And
right.
I can hear his little voice in my head. Shut up, E, and Ethan just saying to the top of his lungs. I know you have a I know you have a moment like that with Austin. What was it?
But I do. When I get too sad or whatever, he would always know it. If I was stressed or anxious or sad, or it didn't matter emotionally what it was, but he always knew the right moment, the right time. But and he was still at home with me. He was my introverted child, and he would always say, "Hey, Lo," because my name's Loretta, so he called me Lo. He would say Lo, and he only did it at this one particular time, and he would say, "Hey, Lo," and I would turn to him, and he would just hug me and not let go for just a little bit. And he said, "Okay, I soaked all your troubles away from you."
Oh, oh,
And all I have to do is close my eyes and I feel that still.
oh. See, and that is something that you hold those things close
Yeah.
because I am. I don't know how long it's been since Austin passed, but
It's just been
I'm going
3
on.
years.
I'm going on 19,
Yeah.
and I would love to say, that I've always said time does not heal all wounds; it makes it real.
Yeah.
Um, it's not when it happens that is the hardest. It's when you're
No.
alone and you're
Yeah.
trying to get
Yeah.
back to a normal that ain't normal no more, and you're recreating a normal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You got to figure out a whole new normal because your life is not normal. You're not normal. I'll never be that
exactly.
person again. Yeah.
And I know for me, when the boys passed away, um, part of me was buried with them, and
Oh, yeah.
it's like a part of you goes too. But
Hmm.
we also have to remember they wouldn't want us to
Right.
grieve forever, you know,
Yeah.
constant. Hello, Katie Ann. Thank you for coming out of the bushes. Hello, Annabella. But they wouldn't want us to grieve forever. They want us to
No.
be happy. Um, so it's those little moments like that. Hold them real close to you because that's what gets you through the hard times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
You know,
the holidays,
silent.
the last year in this house, and I'm here alone. It's just kind of impacted, but I will be with 2 of my grandbabies in the morning at 6:30 a.m. to see them do Santa Claus.
Oh,
So, I'm looking forward
that
to
is
that.
precious.
So,
I
I
love you, honey, and I'm still
love you
praying for
too.
you.
Thank you.
And you
Miss
know what? Austin would be proud of his mama. He would because you are very strong. And I'm not saying that in a way that says you have to be strong, you can't cry. I mean, you're putting one foot in front of the other. In the words of my daddy, you're putting your boots on every morning, and that means a lot.
Yes. Just getting out of bed means a lot.
Yes,
Some
it
days.
does. And I mean, you do great. You do great on your platform.
Thank
You're
you.
inspiration to a lot of us. And I thank God for you.
Thank you.
So I have to ask, are you named after Loretta Lynn? Because yes, I am named after Crystal Gale, and They were
Yeah,
sisters.
yeah. I am named after Loretta Lynn. My mom and daddy went 2 weeks before I was born, and there was a movie she was in, and daddy looked at my mom and said, Loretta. And then they were going to name me Lynn, but my dad said, no, I want her to be named after his mother that had passed away when he was like 14. So I got Anne.
Well, my story is not quite as great as that. um, the the person that was singing on the TV in the room when my mother gave birth to me uh,
Oh, okay.
was, was Crystal Gale, and my dad loved her hair.
Okay. Well,
So
there we go.
I'm not even named after her because of who she was. I'm named after her because of her hair.
Well, that makes us sisters, right?
Yes, because Lorellian and Crystal Gale were
That's right.
sisters. Mhm.
There we go.
And a little fun fact: Crystal Gale, her name
Uh-huh.
at birth was not Crystal Gale.
I heard that one time, but I never
Oh,
knew what it was.
it was Brenda Lee, and Lorellian told her there's already a Brenda Lee.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
so she said, well, do you like the little Crystal burgers? And she said, yeah. She said, well, there's your name, Crystal.
How cool. I didn't know that.
I'm, like I said, I'm a well of useless knowledge.
Well,
Dipsy says her sister's name is Crystal Lee and
uh,
Christy Lee. And my daddy picked it, and my mama said, you can't do it. Well, sounds like you did. But now they also fell in love racing over paint slips, and her daddy was drinking beer out of a windshield wiper.
oh gosh.
The Spencer thing. Yeah, yeah. Her mother fell in love. It sounds like it, Dutchie. It really does. It sounds like it.
Well, thank you, Crystal. You made me feel better.
Oh, honey, thank you. You're an inspiration. We love you.
Oh, I love y'all so much. And when I say that, when I'm on my channel and I tell everybody how special they are to me, I really mean it because I used to do a lot of community things. And I do interviews for TV and on the radio and stuff like that. I've done that for forever. But after losing Austin, I just kind of pulled back in. And when I started my channel, I was very nervous. And it was almost like I had to push that back out of me just to talk. And it's been good for me.
You know what
And
I
it,
like
hmm,
about your channel, other than it being positive and uplifting? Um, when you talk, you mean what you say.
oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to put anything out there that is going to make me look bad later. I'm not going to put anything out there that's going to make somebody angry or whatever. I'm going to go on what I know, and that's who I am.
And that's all we can do.
Yeah. And I didn't want to do that I did yesterday about Miss Daisy. I really didn't want to, but I felt like it had to be said.
Well, you
It
know
was
what, honey? I didn't either. And I mean, I've had more trolls come into my comments that's needed deleted since then. But I think I did it with dignity. I even contemplated on whether taking the video down. But, the fact is, we are nobody's judge. We can't
yeah,
judge nobody.
exactly.
And I sure can't tell somebody if they're going to heaven or hell.
No,
The
that
only
is
thing
not for us to
Christians,
know.
exactly. I mean, the only thing Christians can do is pray. We can pray
Exactly.
for people.
And you
Uh,
can be an example by yourself, your person. You
yeah,
don't have to berate somebody into believing because that's not going to work.
like I told everybody in chat yesterday, had she not have done what I call spiritual abuse,
Yes.
weaponizing the Bible, then I wouldn't have been
Yeah.
speaking on her then.
Right. Yeah. When she called Aunt Sherry a victim, or told Aunt Sherry she was not a victim, I was like, I'm done. I called Annabella. I was like, I have to say something. I have to. It's not right. And people need to know that's not a Christian. That's not the Christian way. And that's not what
Yeah,
God would want. Don't use her as your example of what a Christian person is like. Don't, because that's not it.
exactly. And that's what hurts the most. I mean, um, like on my channel, uh, myself, the Duke, we've put in quite a bit of hours on here,
Yes.
you know, trying to relay the love of Christ and,
Yes.
you know, to speak the truth. And
Yes.
then somebody that has a very large audience can come behind you and say stuff, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
people believing her. And I mean,
Yeah. It's
I'm
sad. And a lot of
I
people have
can't
said,
I can't
I have seen so many comments, Crystal, that have said, I don't want to be a Christian if I have to be like her. And that hurts my heart because
that's yes.
that's not
Yes,
what we
because
are.
as Christians, if we're doing something that could possibly be leading people to hell, we need to
Yeah,
reevaluate take our own inventory. Um, my
exactly.
mama always said, if you're pointing a finger at somebody, you've got four more pointing right back at you. And
Yeah, and my mama always
that's the
said, "And
truth.
it sounds like you deserve it." So that my mom said the same thing. She would end with, "And it sounds to me like you would deserve it."
Yep.
And I was
And
like, "Yeah, I don't."
if but that's what's sad though, is if Christians were living like Christians should be, and when I say that I mean everybody that claims to be one, can you imagine what a revival we would have?
Oh yeah, it would be amazing.
But I mean, if somebody don't believe the way I do, I'm not going to trash them.
Mm-mm.
Um,
No.
the Bible says to go out and compel them to come in. That's what he told
Mhm.
the disciples to do. Uh, he had 12 disciples. One of them was Judas, who
Yep.
betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. I turned him over to be crucified for the price of a slave, you all. That's what a slave's wage was back then. Think about that.
Yeah.
But he knew that was going to happen.
He knew it
Do
was
you
gonna
think?
happen. Deal, let
And
him.
he
Yeah.
yes, he fed him anyway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he didn't kick him out. The Bible
No.
says, let the wheat and tar grow up together, and on the day of judgment, he'd separate them. It's not our place to.
Right.
Um, and even knowing that Judas was going to betray him for 30 pieces of silver. Now, everybody, hold on to your chairs because I'm going to break something down to you. In the Bible, Jesus sent them out two by two to cast out spirits from people. Judas was one of them.
Yep.
Think about that. He was healing people. He was casting out demons, along with Matthew, Mark, Philip, Andrew, Luke, John. So, and do you think that he was standing around saying, "You ain't worthy"? He could have easily said, "One of you are going to betray me, so you ain't going to get this gift." He didn't do that.
Right. Mm-mm.
Jesus lived by example also. He showed us how we're supposed to love each other through his word and how he loved everyone.
Yes.
He was without sin and took upon the sin of the world on himself. If we got what we deserved, we'd all be going to hell.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, if it's not my place to judge someone's soul, I can't even judge Daisy's soul. But,
No.
the Bible
And
does say that you'll know them by the fruit they bear. So, my
yes,
question is, what type of fruit are you bearing?
right. And I saw today
At the end,
her fruit on her community page, and it made me want to just scream. She had a picture of a baby that had been aborted and said something directed toward Aunt Sherry. It
I
it
see
wasn't enough for her to
that
do
is not.
that. Yeah, that was not it was not enough for her to do that on a public platform that Aunt Sherry didn't ask for, but she did it anyways because she felt she had to. And then to continue it now after all of everybody speaking out, she's closed off. She's not listening. She don't care. And that tells you right there, she's not being led by God at all. She has no remorse. It
Well,
was
the
horrible.
Bible does say that many are called, but a few are chosen. Um,
Yeah,
it the Bible also talks about wolves in sheep's clothing.
right.
It says, "Many are come in my name." Uh, that don't even know him. Paraphrasing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, the only thing that we can do is because now this may be an unpopular opinion, but at the end of the day, as Christians, the only thing that we can do is pray for Daisy, because the
Yes.
only person that can change her heart and take the blinders off. Because let me tell you something, this isn't about whether I agree with what she said was right. This is about the way she treated Sherry, about and
About the
the
way
way she
she
felt.
got to do
Yeah,
it. The Bible
yeah,
to do it.
and then taking the Bible and then saying, if you
Yeah.
do these things, you're going to hell. Well, I can't say that. Somebody
Right.
could have killed 15, 20 people and go out here and run over a mountain. And when I find their body, they may be dead. And everybody might say, well, they went to hell. You know what? I can't say that because I don't know what their last moments was. I don't know what God forgave and what God didn't.
Yeah. My uncle told me one time, he said, even a person that takes their own life may be alive for half a second, and that's long enough for God to come in. He said,
Yes. And
because
it,
we
it
know.
also,
He said,
you
we never
also
know.
need to be in the right mind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Uh,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that do that to themselves, big question is what was their state of mind?
Right.
Were they in the right mind? Now I'm not justifying it, people. Don't think I am.
No, I
I'm
agree.
just
I
saying
agree.
that as a Christian, I cannot even judge whether that person goes to heaven or hell, because I don't know their state of mind, and God does. So we need to leave the judging up to
Mm-hmm.
Him. He's the only judge.
Right.
But I wanted to come on here and kind of
Thank
test
you.
this mic and talk to y'all a little bit, but I'm going to have to go in there and
Yeah. Get
talk
back
to my
in there.
hubby. We talk
Thank
to my
you.
hubby
And
a little bit
Merry
and come
Christmas,
back.
everyone. I love you
Merry
all. Merry.
Christmas. Love you, Lolly. I love you all. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas. And remember that tomorrow is Jesus' birthday, or it's the day that we celebrate Jesus' birthday. Don't forget to give thanks to Him, because if you woke up, you are blessed. It takes zero effort to be a good human being. I love y'all. Good night.